He said he could hear me breathing, so I breathed louder. I never expected that a late-night yoga session with a stranger would lead to this. Touches that lingered, kisses that silenced doubt, and breath that turned into something so much more. This is my story, and I'm still breathless thinking about it. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. Watch full video. I hope you really like this. He said he could hear me breathing, so I breathed louder. That night changed everything. I wasn't supposed to be feeling what I felt. Not then. Not in that moment. And definitely not for him. My name's Brooklyn Page, and I always thought I was pretty good at controlling myself. I'm 27, run a yoga studio in Savannah, and spend more time stretching people's limbs than stretching the truth. But when I met him, Caleb Knox, my control cracked like glass under heat. It started as just another Saturday. Rain drizzled lightly on the sidewalks outside my studio, and I stayed late to prep the space for my Sunday couples class. That's when Caleb first walked in, dripping from the rain, his damp gray shirt clinging to the lines of his chest, his voice low and unsure. "Hey, I saw the light. Are you still open?" I looked up from my mat, caught off guard. "We're closed, but can I help you?" He scratched the back of his head, water dripping from his dark hair. "I was just passing by. I'm new in town and saw the sign for yoga. Figured maybe it'd help with the stress of unpacking." I smiled, intrigued by the gentle rasp in his voice. "Well, technically I'm closed, but I suppose I could offer a little welcome to town stretch session on the house." His smile lit up the space in a way that made me nervous, and flattered, and a little tingly. "Really? That'd be amazing. I'm Caleb, by the way. Brooklyn. Let me just grab a spare mat." He kicked off his shoes, peeled off the wet shirt. "Lord help me," and dropped to the mat with natural grace. I tried not to stare, but my eyes betrayed me. His back was sculpted like he lived at the gym, and the tattoo on his left shoulder peaked just enough to stir curiosity. We moved through some gentle poses. He struggled with downward dog, but nailed warrior two like he'd been trained. He grunted softly as he moved, and I found my throat tightening for reasons beyond demonstration. "You're breathing a little fast," he said suddenly. I blinked. "What?" He looked at me, half smirking. "I said I can hear you breathing." I bit my lip. "Maybe I am. Should I slow down?" His eyes met mine, quiet, deep, unreadable. "No. I like it." He'd flushed my face. I looked away, my heart racing faster than before. Then maybe I should breathe louder. The moment suspended between us. Silent. And electrified. "Yeah," he whispered, eyes never leaving mine. "Do that." And I did. I exhaled deep and long, and the sound danced through the candlelit space like a tease. I felt his energy rise with mine. He moved closer, just a few inches, his breath syncing with mine. He reached forward, adjusting my posture. Not really needing to, but it gave him a reason to touch my hips. My skin tingled beneath his fingertips, and my knees went weak. "Is this part of the session?" he asked, voice dropping an octave. "No," I whispered. "This is something else." My breath caught as his hand trailed up my side. Not rushed, but firm, respectful, and needy all at once. We weren't just strangers anymore. In that moment we became something raw, unscripted, primal. The next thing I knew, I was pressed against the wall of the studio. His lips ghosting over my jawline, then my collarbone, then lower. I wanted to stop. I should have stopped. But his mouth was pure velvet heat, and his touch. It silenced all logic. We didn't speak for long stretches. We just breathed. Louder. Together. As if every inhale and exhale was another confession we were too afraid to say aloud. His hands moved under my crop top, sliding across skin like he was memorizing me. And I let him. Because in that moment I wasn't a yoga instructor. I wasn't anyone but a woman unraveling under the weight of desire. "You're dangerous," I whispered as his lips explored my shoulder. "And yet you're still here," he murmured. He was right. I could have told him to stop, to leave, to never return. But instead I tilted my head, giving him full access, full permission. Later, when we sat in silence, limbs entangled on a spare mat, I finally asked, "Do you always seduce women with your hearing?" He chuckled. "Only the ones who sound like poetry when they breathe." I laughed and hit his chest, but his hand caught mine and brought it to his lips. Kiss soft and slow. The kind that lingered longer than necessary. "I wasn't looking for this," I told him. He looked serious now. "Neither was I. But it's happening, Brooklyn." I should have been terrified. It was too soon. Too intense. But I wasn't. Instead, I welcomed it like the summer sun. Bright, warm, and impossible to ignore. Over the next week, Caleb showed up to every class. Even the early 6 a.m. one. My students teased me, saying, "The hot guy is totally into you," and I just smiled, pretending like I wasn't already dreaming about the next time we'd be alone. One night, after a full moon meditation session, he waited until everyone left, then pulled me aside. "Can I take you somewhere?" I raised an eyebrow. "Where?" "Not far. Just somewhere quiet." We drove out to the marsh, the moon casting a silver glow over the still water. He laid a blanket on the hood of his car, pulled me close, and kissed me like I was the only thing that mattered. His fingers slid along my back, my legs curled around his waist, and the marsh wind tangled in my hair. The stars above us bore witness to everything we didn't dare say out loud. There, under the open sky, our bodies found rhythm again. And I breathed, loud, for him, with him. By the time we drove back, I was lost in him. His scent, his smile. The way he looked at me like he already knew how I took my coffee and where my favorite birthmark was. Days turned into weeks. We fell into a rhythm. Yoga, coffee, kisses stolen behind the studio curtains, whispered goodnights with lingering touches that left us breathless. But real life always finds a way to test you. One afternoon, a woman came into my studio, tall and gorgeous, looking like a model. "I'm looking for Caleb," she said, casually tossing her blonde hair. My heart sank. "He's not here right now. Can I help you?" She smiled. "I'm his sister. We just moved here from Denver. He mentioned you." I exhaled, thank God, and smiled. "I'm Brooklyn. I teach here." Her eyes sparkled. "He said you were beautiful." He undersold it. Later that evening, I confronted Caleb with a grin. "You didn't tell me your sister was a supermodel." He shrugged. "I told her you were a goddess. Close enough." Melted. Completely. She smiled. "I'm his sister. We just moved here from Denver. He mentioned you." I exhaled, thank God, and smiled. "I'm Brooklyn. I teach here." Her eyes sparkled. "He said you were beautiful." He undersold it. Later that evening, I confronted Caleb with a grin. "You didn't tell me your sister was a supermodel." He shrugged. "I told her you were a goddess. Close enough." Melted. Completely. Please press the bell icon for more interesting.